Hey y'all, do I look tired? I know I do because I am exhausted. I've been staying up late working day and night on the complete project management roadmap for WordPress. And a lot of you have offered to help me, and I appreciate that so much. And I know there's going to come up times when I am going to ask for help. But right now, I'm so discombobulated with all of the stumbling blocks that I've run into lately that I'm just jumping from thing to thing, which is not typically the way I do things. The way I do things normally is very measured and planned out, but in this case, some things came up, that I didn't plan for, and it seems like every single time I get my head down, I'm ready to go, then a client has an issue or something that I've got to deal with. It's only going to take a minute, but then that takes way longer than I thought. Just about everything I'm doing right now takes longer, way longer. It's not hard. It's just everything is so freaking time consuming. And then things happen like this week. LearnDash, that's the software, the plugin that I use for delivering the course like in a training format. Love the plugin. But this week they came out with a brand new user interface that is going to make a much better user experience for you all. So once I saw the features, I was like, I was just going to stick with the legacy version and truck on just in the interest of time. But then when I looked at the features, this is going to make it way easier for you to navigate through everything. So so I had to take the time to do that. My microphone broke. I was getting ready to. I've been trying to do this video for you guys for like days and days, and then my microphone broke. I had to order a new one, wait for it to come, just one thing and another. But I know you're probably thinking, when is this chick ever going to launch this thing? But it's coming. There is light at the end of the tunnel, or the roadmap, whichever way you want to look at it. Now, I want you to know I have slides right down here because I am so tired. I will not remember what it is I wanted to say to you. And let me tell you this. I'm not doing Facebook Lives anymore. That's not true. I will be doing Facebook Q&As in the Facebook group that will be for the students of the roadmap. But I just can't do them now. You would think somebody who's acted on stage as many times as I have. I used to do a whole bunch of little theater, and I did one little tiny stint in New York. But when you're up on the stage pretending to be somebody else, that's super easy. And you get 6 weeks of rehearsal. You know exactly what you're going to say. And this whole idea of going live, and then you might, be showing too much cleavage. Or you never know, and that's just terrifying to me. And what ends up happening is I end up putting it off, so I don't communicate at all. Well, that's going to change, so I'm going to start recording these videos and posting them for you guys, so you know what's coming, and for some little teaching moments here and there. But I'm not going to do this live on Facebook or anywhere else. It's just not my thing. I don't care what the gurus say about that's the thing you should be doing. It's just not me. All right, so I was originally shooting for June 12th to launch the complete roadmap. I mean, we're almost there, okay? But building sales funnels is a lot harder. Not hard, just time consuming. I mean, a sales page that, one of those run-on sales pages that goes on forever that has every feature and benefit of your product, it takes a long time to build one of those. And I keep going back to Amy Porterfield, who is my queen and my mentor in how to create a kick-ass course and how to deliver it. And so I'm really learning a lot, but it does take time. So that's another reason. So I was shooting for June 12th. The reason I was shooting for June 12th is because that's my daughter's birthday. She's 30. She will be, in a few days, 32. Is that right? Yes, I'm 62, so she'll be 32. And so I thought, well, what bet? She turned out really good. So I thought maybe that's a sign. And if I launch this other baby on June 12th also, that maybe that would be some sort of good karmic, I don't know, metaphysical kind of thing. But it ain't going to happen. So, and let me bring that, it's a good teaching moment, okay? So a plan is just a plan. That's the thing you always have to remember. You need a plan, but then a plan is just a plan. So many times we hate to put things down in a project plan because we think that for somehow that carves it in granite like the Ten Commandments. And it doesn't. A plan is a plan. Stuff happens. Then you have a decision to make. Do you change the scope to meet the date, or do you change the date so you can have everything in the program that you wanted there in the first place? So I've been changing the date. Now we're coming up on WordCamp Asheville this weekend, and it was at WordCamp Asheville last year that I realized what a big, well, I had already realized it, but it really solidified for me what a need there is in our WordPress community for some true down and dirty project management stuff. And I wanted to put it in a format that you could tailor it, because somebody said to me the other day, but every one of my projects is different. How can I have repeatable processes? Well, they're different. They're the same but different. They're the same, only different. And so I'm trying to make it tailorable so that it's easy for you to go in, take the pieces that work for you and the way you do business, that you can get real results from, and then, toss the stuff that doesn't apply to you. Because some of it is pretty hardcore, because it's based on, IT, project management, and corporate. So and I didn't know sometimes I didn't know what to leave out, what to leave in. So I probably erred on the side of, man, that is a lot of stuff. But then you can take the pieces you want and not the pieces that you don't want. So that's the way I'm looking at it. So part of the thing that slowed me down also, besides all of these things that just keep coming up, my car broke down too. So, so then you have, it wasn't that big of a deal. You just take it to the car repair place. But this all the time involved in taking it to the car place and so on and so forth. But it's fine now. I had a brake caliper that had seized up. But anyway, so what's been happening is I'm going to WordCamp. And every time I go to WordCamp and we talk about this and I get all jazzed up about it, and then somebody says the way they do things, and I go, oh, that's a really good idea. I should incorporate that in. I'm not doing that anymore. It's killing me. And I can't be all things to all people. So what the roadmap is a framework that you can use, that you can pick and choose and kind of create your own project management methodology, your own set of best practices in your practice. That's what I'm trying to do. So I'm done taking everyone else's advice. Everything else that I'm getting now is going to go in a folder for version 2 when we enhance it next time. So I'm doing this video now, and I'm going to try to do more in the coming weeks and communicate better so you guys know exactly where we are, so that you can get a first jump on when the roadmap is available, because I might be limiting the number of students based on the amount of exposure that I'm expecting to get during the 14 days that I'm going to be launching this thing. I'm going to be doing a couple of webinars, but there's a couple of pretty big players who want to highlight it. So I anticipate maybe having more students than I can manage. And and that just shortchanges everybody. So I want to make sure that with this early adopters, like first, I don't know, what do we call you, inaugural class of people, I want to make sure that those people really do get the bang for their buck and the value, and I don't want to get overwhelmed. So I want to make sure you guys get first stab at it. So be sure to hang close, and I'm going to do a much better job at communicating, whether that's via email or these videos or whatever. I'm tweeting, whatever. I'm going to do much better about that. Did I tell you I have slides down here I'm looking at, so I don't make sure I'm not going to forget to tell you anything? Okay, so let me tell you about the status of the roadmap. We have 8 video training modules, and each of those modules has 3 to 8 lessons in them. None of them are hugely long. I'm trying not to make them long. I'm trying to chunk it down. Hey, that's one of the 6 principles. Break the job down. So I'm trying to chunk it down. Oh, and in the upcoming weeks as I do these videos, I'm going to be telling you guys about some ways that I broke my own principles and how that cost me time, and how it doesn't cost me money because it's just me. I guess it does cost me money because I'm not earning money. So maybe in that sense it does. But okay, so we got 8 training modules. We got a framework manual that's called the Field Guide, and that's basically the entire work breakdown structure with each phase, activity, and task explained, with the inputs and the outputs into the next phase. And it is based on a sort of kind of like a waterfall approach, but there are some iterative things in there. And by iterative, I mean, like 2 or 3 tasks that repeat themselves until you get to the point where it's finished. But for the most part, it's kind of a waterfall framework that flows downward from activity to activity and phase to phase. We have project plan templates for a variety of different kinds of projects. And then I have more than 25 other templates, tools, checklists, sample language. I'm trying to do it so that it is super easy for you to implement. Oh, I forgot to tell you about the implementation guide that I created that will show you how to gradually, or all at once if you want to, but how to work these things into your practice that you're doing now, like things you need to discuss with your customer, those sorts of things. But that's in the implementation guide. So all of that is part of the complete roadmap, and that's why I'm so tired. Okay, so I told you about WordCamp. I told you about that I was getting distracted by the people at the WordCamp giving me good ideas. So I think that pretty much covers it. That's where we are right now. Look for more videos from me in the next few days. If you're on my email list, you'll be getting emails too. If you're not on my email list, go over to WP Roadmaps and there's a button that says Keep Me Informed. If you don't want any of the freebies on the website, just go in there and click on Keep Me Informed, and then you'll be the first to know when all of this happens. And I'm looking at, let me look at my calendar and see exactly when it is that I am shooting for now. My new target date, because after all, a plan is just a plan. My new target date to launch is June 25th, and that would be a 14-day launch, and so class would start on July 10th. So you get through the holiday. I didn't want to launch right around July 4th because everybody will be busy and off at vacation and stuff. So July 10th is when the class would start if I'm able to meet the June 25th. See, the course is done. It's just all the other stuff, like the email sequences and the landing pages, registration pages, making sure the tech works. I had to set up some Zaps and Zapier to make sure that the webinar registrations go to Zoom and also go to MailChimp. So it, and I honestly, see, I underestimated how long all that would take, because I just thought it would be boom, 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 but you have to learn stuff along the way, so it slows you down. But anyway, that's where we are with the project management roadmap and what's going on in my life. And did I say that you guys, some of you have offered to help me, and I really, really appreciate it, and I may be reaching out to those of you who've offered. And don't be offended that I didn't ask and I'm super tired. I just don't want you. Part of the reason is I stayed up late last night because I was right in the middle of something, and you know how sometimes you just can't stop, and I stayed up way too late. So that's one reason I'm super tired. My house is a wreck. My car is a wreck. My yard's a wreck. Oh, I got weeds everywhere. I told somebody yesterday I need a weed puller. I can vacuum. I can vacuum my yard. See, that's how tired I am. I can mow my lawn because I have a really small yard, but it's the pulling the weeds. That's going to take hours. I don't have hours to go out there and do that. So I'm going to see about hiring a little college kid maybe somewhere nearby. I live near a university, so hopefully I'll be able to find somebody that'll work for cheap. Okay. Thanks, guys. I'll be back in touch very soon, and keep your eyes open for the complete project management roadmap for WordPress. See you next time.